Let's take you back to the Eastern Cape now, where the city of Gqeberha is hosting a township and rural economy engagement as part of South Africa's G20 presidency. Our reporter Liabo Setho is watching the story and is standing by with the Small Business Development Minister in Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. And of course, the minister, in some ways, Liabo, is at the center of what we've seen taking place there over the past 2 days.
Absolutely. She is at the center of everything that's taking place. But what else is at the center of what's taking place is the interest. I'd like to just show you how the Gqeberha Hall is filling up beautifully. Such is the interest, Ayanda, such is the intense interest from entrepreneurs that are exhibiting here. In the last hour, I showed you some of the things that they are doing. But also the community members themselves, I can imagine that they want to know what this G20 is and how is it going to change their lives. The entrepreneurs have told me themselves that, look, we're looking for access to markets, we're looking for funding opportunities, and I'm hoping that with me, Minister of Small Business Development, Stella Ndabeni, will be able to give us a little bit of an idea of what she has in store for them, and she joins me now. Minister, thank you very much for your time. You must be so tired. Yesterday was such a busy day, but a much shorter program today, a packed hall. You must be excited that the people have come out in numbers. What are you going to tell them?
Well, we're here to listen to them actually as we articulate what G20 is about and what are the priorities that we have set for our presidency during this time. But most importantly to say, this is an opportunity for all businesses and all citizens. This is why we are saying, what is it that they are looking for? Of course, from our side, one of the critical things is access to markets, is access to finance, and also dealing with the regulatory challenges that they go through. So we'll be discussing those. We're going to have panelists from the different stakeholders that are here, including the entrepreneurs themselves, who must poke holes on the interventions that we say we have as governments and the private sector. So we're looking at sharing with them and also listening to them on how best can we design products that must talk to township business.
Yeah. Over the years, my interaction with you, you've been quite critical of entrepreneurs and how they don't take part when it comes to policy formations on things that need them. Do you talk to them enough, especially at places like this where they are gathered, and to be able to let them know how important their voice is when it comes to formulating what they want to see as policy?
Well, every day I give a speech where the audience is entrepreneurs. I make sure that I remind them. The same thing I do if I'm engaging with learned people, the academics. I always encourage them, because if we are to build a responsive society that must grow the economy, people must participate in the legislative development process. And for me, it is important because the regulatory challenges that they're complaining about, or what you call the red tapes, it is because of the law. Now, if they don't participate in the development of the law, or they don't challenge the law, it tells you that things will not change. They will keep on complaining. But when they must go, because that opportunity of public hearings or gazetting for people to bring in inputs is meant to give people an opportunity to explain better, because they're involved in the day-to-day work that they are doing. They get to see certain things, because at times we introduce certain interventions without looking at the negative aspects at times. But because they live this daily, they're able to say, whilst you have good intentions, but look at 1, 2, 3, because they're practicing that. So I encourage them all the time. We give them the platforms. We even go to a point of having webinars so that we can explain some of the programs and say, you can organize yourselves as the sector to say, these are the challenges that you are faced with. You'll be shocked that just ourselves as government, there's 167 pieces of legislation that are red tape to small businesses. And now we're busy engaging. That's why President appointed the red tape office. We have a unit that deals with red tape in our department, but remember, we are one department, and red tape cuts across all departments. So we're tabling that to cabinet. We are making proposals of the particular clauses that must be changed or repealed. And when we do that, then it would mean that at least things are going to be relaxed and entrepreneurs can participate in the different sectors that they're supposed to participate in. And of course, I can't leave this one. You know that we had the National Small Enterprise Act that President assented to, and in the act we had proposed for the establishment of the Office of the Ombuds. Parliament is finalizing the process. So small businesses are going to have a champion, somebody who can hold anyone accountable for unfair trade practices and anything that is untoward towards how small businesses are treated.
I'm sure this one will be very much accepted, and they'll be so excited. But I can't leave without asking you this. 3 weeks ago, you and I were at the AA2 Mall in Soweto, where you launched the Spaza Shop Support Fund. How is the take-up since then? We are in New Bright now, and there are several Spaza shops here, and I'm sure are seated among us are Spaza shop owners as well, and they'll probably will want to know if there's any problems that they've been encountering, etc. How's the take-up been?
We have not received any complaints so far in terms of the application process, but remember the people that are able to apply are people who have been given permits by their municipalities. What we have now is a challenge where in municipalities boards they're still verifying certain information. They have not issued the permits because they must check, especially if you're a non-South African. Also, if you are South African, they must prove that indeed you are residing in New Brighton in the address that we are saying we are trading from, which means if you are not the property owner, you must have a lease agreement. So we're trying to support them. That's why we got the business regulatory officers in all the districts to assist the entrepreneurs in those areas, liaise with the municipality and the affected stakeholders to make sure that they're able to apply. We're going to come back in 30 days and announce the progress or the frustrations if there are any. But so far things have been good. We have not had Spaza shop people complaining, those that have registered, and we make sure that if we come to gatherings like this, we have a desk with our BRO that the people that have registered with the municipality, they go and register and check.
Minister, the people of New Bright wait for you, and they want to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, you've heard it for yourself. We've gotten a quick update. In the next 30 days, she says you'll find out about that Spaza Shop Support Fund. It was quite something that was welcomed, and a lot of people had a lot of inquiries, so certainly to us as well as the media at the SABC at asking us about how you go about that. I'm sure that the entrepreneurs here, Spaza Shop owners here will also want to hear more from the minister. But the room is quietened down. Everyone is settled down. They're now getting ready to hear what's in store, Ayanda, and what the program holds in store for them.